are listening to All Burgundy and Gold Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Your host are myself, Wole, and the homie Glen. The homies Ray, Jeezy, and Mo are out. Hey, before we get into anything, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Errrything. Also, tweet us at ABG_Errrything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_Errrything, and like our All Burgundy and Gold Errrything Facebook page. Hey, do not forget to subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Errrything YouTube channel as well. As y'all can tell, I got like a sick voice, but I'm trying to do this thing like Jordan the flu. I'm doing the flu game thing right now, so I feel like I'm bringing my A game as I am sick.
Bring your A game, baby. I got you back.
I'll be my man Glenn. My man Glenn. Tonight. I appreciate you, Glenn. Real talk, I appreciate you. Anyway, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We are going to talk about the Commanders trading away Chase Young and Montez Sweat, and we'll talk about the Commanders taking on the New England Patriots. All right, Glenn, let's get into it. The Washington Commanders traded Montez Sweat to the Chicago Bears for a 2024 second rounder, and Chase Young to the 49ers for a third rounder. Condition was a conditional pick. A conditional pick. Well, I asked you anyway. Were you a fan of the deal and of the deals, plural, both deals, and why or why not?
Yeah, I think I'm a fan of the deal. I think I'm
both of them or just one. Both
of them. Both of them. I'm gonna tell you why I'm a fan of both of them. Right. This team, one, you might have ended up losing both of them anyway at the end of the season. Right. You can save money in both of them. The productivity that you have, you didn't think it was successful. Your team with them you already have 31st ranked defense with them. So the only place you can go is up if you get rid of them and get trade value for them. Now you have 5 picks in this year's draft. Does it mean you're going to get a Chase Young or a Montez Sweat in the draft? No, but it does mean that you can probably get some offensive linemen. You may be able to get a linebacker that you may be looking for. So why not get something for them? And them guys, we don't know the inner workings. They might have been like, you know what, discontent with the pro organization and said, we're leaving anyway, right? And we're leaving anyway. So the Commanders were like, you know what, if you're going to leave anyway, let's move. Because look at some of the things that Montez did. Montez took Instagram down. He did some things like that. Chase wasn't as you didn't see him out talkative as he had been, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably because they knew they heard some rumbles and some moves. And so now let's get some trade value for you. Now, Montez, his 35 and a half sacks as a Washington Commander. To me, I think he's missed more than Chase Young. People talk about pressures. Oh, Chase Young with pressure. Chase Young with pressure. Well, guess what? His pressures didn't really end up to too many things on his stat sheet and his numbers, right? And let's be fine. He still has to produce in San Francisco. Because guess what? San Francisco said, because at the end of the year, if Chase doesn't produce, they can say, you know what? Go bye-bye. Go be a free agent. Go find someone else. Go find a home. And list the Commanders got something for him. So I'm a fan of that trade to move on. I know Ron is not happy because that was one of his first guys when he came in, right? And number 2 pick, gone. It's okay. This team has proven, people want to argue, this team has proven they can play better without them. And ask me why there was number 7 ranked defense last year without Chase Young.
Yep.
So again, numbers, I'm not gonna lie, this is where we're at because Del Rio's gonna now. Do I think a lot of them leaving had to do with coaching? Heck yeah. Yeah. Right. I don't think Del Rio put them in positions and situations to be as successful as they needed to be. But the question was, am I happy with the trade? Yes, I'm happy. I thought one of them would go. I didn't think both would go, but when both of them gone, I think the team's gonna be okay.
Yeah. So for me, am I happy with the trade? Yeah, I think you got value for it. I think you could have got more for Chase if you were patient enough, but that's my opinion. I think whatever people can agree or disagree on that one. I think like teams like Atlanta, no one's gonna believe me. I think a team like Atlanta who has no pass rusher, like if you wanted to trade him to it, like I feel like Atlanta would have been interested. I feel like it would have been really interested. But it is what it is. Like they went away with it. I guess my issue with it is, I know you talk about pressures, but pressures are important because they do lead into sacks. Because sacks could be flukish. For example, Chase pass rushed into like the game against the Eagles. Chase rushed. No, it wasn't even Chase. Maybe it was Chase or somebody else. I'm gonna say it was Deron Payne. They rushed the quarterback. Jalen Hurts fell, and Montez with the pressure, Montez just fell on him, and that really wasn't nothing to do with Montez. But he gets the sack. Yeah, he gets the sack. So that's what I'm saying. Like we could talk about how sacks or whatever, but pressures are valued to only if it leads to something, right? Because you pressure somebody, turn the ball over.
Right.
That's because of a pressure. But I do think that my issue has not been about the players. Period. I've always said I don't pin these two against each other. Like I think a lot of people try to say who would you rather have, whatever. My issue is that I feel like the coaches, and you mentioned it already, like the coaches didn't let these dudes like eat. And I feel like the situations are going to go to now, they're going to get the opportunity to eat. If it is what it is, like I think that they're better. I don't know if you said it, somebody else said that they're better, or somebody said this on Twitter, and I totally agree. On X, they're a better team defensively on the front four is when they just feature the D tackles. That's the goal. The goal is to feature Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. They do not want you rushing wide like that and getting pressure. They want to funnel people in. Which again, if you have premier pass rushers, that's the wrong message to have for premier pass rushers, because premier pass rushers are always trying to get to the quarterback any which way they can.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to go wide. They're going to go wide. They're going to go in. They're going to try to loop in and go loop in. Like their goal is to sack the quarterback. A person like Casey Toohill and Smith Williams, those dudes will play a role. So it seems like Jack and Ron favor that situation for their defense because they're studs. What they believe their studs and who they want to feature is Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. We ain't gonna argue with that. Those dudes are nasty, but that's what it is. So they're not a all go for it type of defensive front. Right. That's not what they've been. That's not what Jack is teaching. So when you go to Chase going to San Fran, their defensive front is all go for it. You see it. It's all go for it. Mm-hmm. That's what their front. Chicago, their young team, they're gonna be all go for it. Those dudes, because they're gonna be instantaneously. They're gonna be used to go rush the quarterback, go get the quarterback. They're going to be coached to a point where to do what they do best. For instance, I know, and I know we've heard we mentioned this prior, but like folks saying Chase isn't disciplined and whatever. LeVar Arrington was the same way. They said LeVar wasn't disciplined, and then Marty came in, right? Marty Schottenheimer came in.
Oh yeah,
and he did what he did. They coached up their defense for LeVar. So like anything, you utilize what that player does best, and you make them successful.
And Marty took that team 8-8.
And Marty did. So Marty did that with LeVar's best season. I've always said like coaching does wonders when your coaches want to change up what they can do to betterment your team and for the better of the player. So the player is a dominant player. The player can be a good edge rusher or rush the passer in a certain way. You let him use his freedom, find a way to utilize that instead of trying to like hinder it, right? But it is what it is. That's a lost cause. But I do think that in terms of my issue, so again, I'm a favor of the trade because you got to hide for Montez. For Montez, you basically got a freaking late first rounder, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, you did.
And then for Chase, I mean, I'm not a fan of the trade, but you can draft picks. I feel like you could. I feel like a third round if you hold off. Maybe if you don't show desperateness, because I think you already tipped your hand anyway. If you just kind of was patient enough, you could have probably found somebody better than a third compensation. I'm sure you could have found somebody better. I'm positive you could have found something better than the third conversation. But the narrative is going to be the narrative. I know how they rock with the narrative. And I know issues with the knee. That's what something that teams have been, wary of. But I felt like usually when you hear the stats of pressures and just knowing in today's NFL, analytics in today's NFL, that usually typically goes a long way because today's NFL is real analytical. So typically player like coaches and coaches staffs will kind of be like, okay, he gets a lot of pressure. If I put him in my line, this could work. You know what I mean? So, but they made the deal. But my issue has always been my issue has not been the deal itself. It's just what it represents. It's like you underachieved. If the team was 5-3, none of these players are going anywhere this season. They're not trading anybody.
I give you that. If 5-3, no one's going anywhere. You think you have something, right?
Yeah.
Or even if they're 3-5, right, where they're at now, but the defense was ranked higher.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
If defense was ranked higher, I think they would probably stay. But like I said, mentioned, it's 31st defense, and this is what people fail to realize too. What this team and most fans are looking at is we got an offense who is actually scoring now.
Yeah.
And the defense can't stop anybody. Who's more valuable to us to get rid of? You're not getting rid of Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. You just gave them the bag.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You just gave them the bag, so they're not going anywhere. Who do the people want, right? Who's the hype guy? And that's why we talk about it. Let's say this wasn't a Ron Rivera job, right?
Nah,
this
trade. Yeah, it was
trade. This was Ron Rivera trade. Sorry, this was a Josh Allen trade. This was upper management.
Josh Harris. Josh
Harris. Excuse me, Josh Harris. Sorry,
got you.
My bad. Josh Harris. This is a Josh Harris deal, right? This is something that he was a part of. And guess what? We talked about on the pregame. We thought he was going to keep Chase because he was a name.
Yeah.
He don't worry about names, man. He wants to win. Let's put it this way. If I invested $6 billion in something, I want a return on my $6 billion.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to get a return as quick as possible on my $6 billion. I need to get rid of some folks. I need to get the organization. I can't get rid of the head coach right now in the middle of the season. I can.
Can you? You can.
I can, but it's not gonna be a good look. You know what I'm saying?
To who? When we can look to who? That's the question.
Yeah, but they like Ron. They're not gonna do that to Ron. Fire him in the middle.
I think I honestly I don't think they like Ron that much. Ron as much as you think they are anymore.
Ron knows, and I mean, if you ever listen to Josh Harris talk, him and Ron, they know. Ron knows what was on the season. He knew what was on the line, right? He knew from when the new ownership came in that he knew what was on the line. Now, if they do let Ron go, and Ron in the middle somewhere down the line, if he said he loses to the Patriots, to the Seahawks, and then loses to the Giants, right? Yeah. You're gonna have to let Ron go. But I wish Eric Bieniemy become promoted. Ron has to go through this stretch right here, and this team looks different after the trade. And I don't know how much is on Ron. I think as we talked yesterday with this trade. You have Ron, who's a defensive coordinator, who is a defensive-minded coach. Jack Del Rio, who's a defensive-minded coach, and you guys are only 30. This team that was ranked 7th is now 31. Like, from 2 defensive-minded coaches. Like, y'all can't put your head together to fix the problem here. Del Rio, right? I mean, EB has the offense on lock. Let's be honest. Neither one of those dudes put their hand in the offense. EB has it on lock. You have 2 guys who've been in the NFL for years, and y'all can't get it together. Doesn't make any sense, right? Can't put players in the right position. Can't come up with a good scheme. That is not what good football coaches do. Good football coaches find a way on defense to win the game. Somebody made the decision to put Emmanuel Forbes back in the game against AJ Brown.
Ooh, man, say it again, Glenn. Say it again.
Whose decision is that, right? Either is that Jack Del Rio's, that's Ron Rivera's, or it might be a combination of both. Why would you do that? And then when you did it, you put it at a pivotal situation on the field where the game was tied or somewhere like that.
Yeah, the game was in doubt. Yeah. The game was always in doubt. They're going back and forth. They need the momentum and keep playing them.
So defense stuff, man.
The defense let them down, man. Like, that's the thing that bothers me. But I get it, like, right? Because, like you said, they're one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and that's with Chase Young and Montez Sweat. So I understand that argument. I'm not gonna I'm not against that argument. I'm not gonna be one to say, well, why would you keep him? That argument reigns true to me. My issue to you, what you're talking about is, like you said it, like EB has improved the offense compared to last year. He's improved the offense.
Yes.
Say what you may about him not running the football, whatever, but he has improved the offense. They score more. They're better in the red zone. He's improved the offense.
Yep.
Jack Del Rio and his unit, they draft, they put all the collateral on that, all the equity on the defense, all of it. They drafted Emmanuel Forbes, they drafted Quan Martin. They got that defensive front right. Jamin Davis, linebacker. They went and signed Cody Barton. They have equity, St. Juice was a draft pick. The equity on that team, right? They put a lot of equity on that side of the football. Yeah. And they're one of the worst defenses in the NFL and this season. So to me, like, that was what bothers me. It's like, to me, culture has to come to play, and that's what my issue was. Like, yeah, you trade away Montez and Chase, but you ain't really fixing the problem.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You just trade. It's like that dude trade. I mean, again, they're not part of the trade. Like, they wanted to keep those dudes. So I'm not saying the coaches are responsible for the players leaving, but if you did your job as a coach, and like now you're mad, like you're a lamed up coach. If you did your job as a coach of coaches, then you don't put yourself in a situation to lose the players that you want to keep in house, right?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, to your point, I think EB has done his job. Like, if you had told the people to start the year that Washington's going to be averaging about over 21 points a game. 21 points a game.
Yeah.
Better in the red zone. With a rookie quarterback. You would say to me, oh, they're gonna win a lot of games because the defense, you're thinking to yourself, the defense is gonna be better.
The defense
is gonna hold them down. That hasn't been the case. To your point, this team's been carried by the offense, which should never be the thing. Shouldn't have been the thing at all. And that's not because of the defensive line. Like a lot of people blame, like the secondary has been trash. Like they've been giving explosive plays. Like I know people are saying like it's gotta be a unison, but the secondary has been atrocious. And whatever you scheming up for that secondary has been bad, right? You talked about playing Emmanuel Forbes on AJ Brown consistently. Like there's things you've done schematically that hasn't worked out for you. You know what I'm saying? So as a coaching staff, you haven't been good. Like you just haven't been good. And those players had to pay for your, like if they didn't want to be here, they had to pay for your negligence as a coach.
Yes. Totally agree with that, man. It's just like Jack which we all talked about, should have been gone years ago, a couple years ago. Yeah. But Del Rio is loyal to a fault.
To a fault, man.
He's loyal to a fault. I mean, I'm sure he didn't want to get rid of Scott Turner, but
no, he did not.
It was time for Scott. It was time for him to go. And so again, it's time for Del Rio to go, and Ron has to understand everybody's gone. I can't put it any other way, man. I think everybody's gone, and you guys gonna have to start. These guys gonna have to start over now. Am I putting the season? If I'm counting the season as against the Commanders, no. I think the Commanders can still follow into the playoff seed, the 7th seed. No, I'm not trying to be homer. I just looked at the teams that they only one game out. And I'm just looking at the teams that are there, right?
I mean, the NFC is compared to the AFC is not good. But go ahead.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The NFC is terrible. If this team to do what Ron normally does in November, we go in and run. Look at the history with this team with Ron Rivera. In November, this team usually go on a 3 or 4 game winning streak. It is usually a run, which has been the traditional history with this football team, which puts them back in the conversation of the last playoff spot. Now, do people want to see this team roll up in January against the Detroit Lions? No, right? But they do want to see this team be successful because we're talking about, again, 6 billion reasons. You still have home games that you want to sell out.
That's true.
You still got home games you want to sell out. So you still have to put a product on the field that is very good or have the fan base not wanting to sell their tickets on eBay and Ticket Hub and StubHub in January. So they have to become reorganized and have to put things together for this upcoming game and for the rest of the season.
Let's look at this. Let's look at what they have remaining on the schedule real quick. Let's look at it. The Patriots.
Yep. Winnable game.
That's winnable. The Seahawks. I don't know if that's winnable. They're playing good football. I don't know. They're playing good football. They're playing really good football. Like let's be like, not in Seattle. It's a hard one.
It's gonna be difficult, but it's winnable.
Seattle is way over 500, man. Like they're actually a good team. Like it's not like a bad team. Like Washington hasn't beaten. All right, let's keep it a buck. Has Washington beat an over 500, like a team that's over 500 like that so far this year? Atlanta, are they over 500 now?
No, I don't think so. No. Atlanta's 4-4 right now.
Okay, 4. They're 500. So the only team
they're 500. Yeah.
The only team they've beaten, and they're struggling. Atlanta's struggling. The only team they've beaten was Atlanta. They lost. They beat Denver. Not a good team. They beat the Cardinals. Not a good team. They beat Atlanta. A struggling team. I feel they got a good defense. Struggling.
Yeah, they're struggling.
All the good teams they've they lost to the Bears they haven't put like this, Glenn. They haven't shown us to say they can beat Seattle.
Right. That's the problem.
So for me to say that's winnable, I got to be real. Like it's not winnable until you show me. Like
true. I give you that.
Yeah. So like you got to show because you're going over it. Dude, you lost to the Giants. You lost to the Bears. Like what do we like? Y'all not even on the realm to say you can do anything. Like they are. Then you got the Giants. That's winnable. I don't care. That's winnable. You know. Because Giants trade away one of the they traded away Leonard Williams. Command. Then they got the Thanksgiving game against the Cowboys. I don't know. That's winnable. I don't think that's winnable. But
just don't get embarrassed.
Yeah, don't get embarrassed. Then you got the Dolphins. Don't get embarrassed.
Don't get embarrassed.
All right. Then you got the Rams. It's winnable, but it's a funny winnable because you're going to LA. It's a
Good,
funny,
it's funny when
because they're well coached though. Because they're well coached. That's why. The Jets, it's interesting, but their defense is good, but it's winnable because of Zach Wilson. So I'll give you that.
Okay, I'll give you that.
All right. The Niners, not winnable.
Oh no,
not winnable. And then you got so you got the end of the season with the Cowboys at FedEx.
I don't know about the Niners game, and the Niners have been faulty lately.
Bro, don't do that. The Niners ain't winnable. They ain't winnable. Don't do that. They faulty against good teams. They faulty against better teams, bro. They faulty against.
That's secondary suspect.
They played the Browns got a dominant defense. That's why they struggled against the Browns. And they played. Who else they lost to? They lost to the Bengals, a Super Bowl. This team went to bowl. Like they ain't losing to nobody bad, bro. Like we're not them. We're not those teams they lost to.
No,
we're not those teams.
We're not.
Like, yeah, if Ron shows us that he can beat the Dolphins, I would be real. I'm gonna tell you again. To me, the Dolphins are more winnable than the Niners. Ooh. That's what I care. The Dolphins are more because the Dolphins don't play the same because they don't play the same on the road. The Dolphins are more winnable than the Niners. But the Niners aren't winnable. Like, I don't care what, because their defense comes, they travel, like they come to smack you. And then you're gonna have
on there.
When Bosa, it's just being motivated. Come on, they playing against this line. I don't care how many re-ups they do. This line still ain't that good. You got Leno, you still got Leno on the edge. Come on, man. Stop.
Hey,
Wiley.
That line only get one sack on Sunday.
They did. But you're gonna have Wiley. Don't worry, keep doing it. I want them to see, but then they gave him a big sack at the end of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, I don't know how winnable they are, but Ron, like this, for them to go on the streak that you refer to, it's gotta be a little bit different than their other streaks. Because they had a lot of, like, some of the streaks, they had some bad teams into it.
Right.
They also had they had a couple good wins, right? They had a couple good wins. Well, that means Ron has to take his coaching to another level, and you telling me that's something I can't guarantee you, bro.
I can't do that. I can't guarantee that,
bro. Can't guarantee you that. Like, but I think EB. If you're telling me that if the offense is going to be dynamic enough to keep them in, let me see. I gotta see what happens in the Patriots game. If Sam continues to get better, if he can decipher, if he can put up good numbers against Coach Belichick. I think that, to your point, I think that they can win. They can go in. They think it's possible, but he has to. It's possible. Sam has to do something. He has to ball out against Belichick.
Well, it's possible, but Belichick is going to make him look. He has a knack for making rookies get confused, right? He has a knack for getting rookies confused. This offensive line, if they don't know by now, they better really get it together because New England's coming. Right? New England's coming, and and my man has to get the ball off quickly. Yeah. So one thing I wanted to point out when we talk about defense and about Ron not making a good job, look at Holcomb in Pittsburgh now. He's out there living his best life.
Yeah, I knew it though.
Like he's living his best life. Like
you traded Holcomb for like Cody Barton.
It's amazing. Again, how can people trust you in the decision making that you make when you make decisions like that? Whether you're dealing with defensive end pass rushers, or you dealing with, linebackers.
I'm telling you this, like, he's a tool. I'm sorry, he's a tool.
Yeah,
I'm like, Cody Barton was one of the best tacklers in North Carolina. He was in the ACC. I think he probably led the conference in tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Gruden liked him a lot. He drafted Jay Gruden liked him a lot.
Yeah.
And everything he did here, he worked his butt off, and even preseason throughout. Like you saw the ability through with him.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are like they were low on Cody on Holcomb. I was high on Holcomb. I was always like Holcomb. I think he just kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
But I like Holcomb. I like the combination of Holcomb and Jamin Davis.
And Holcomb was just that guy. He could command the defense. I don't see that. You just don't see that right now. It was Cody Barton.
Yeah, Cody Barton.
I mean, I know I understand he's hurt, so you didn't see.
No, you didn't see it at all. You're right. He has the best game against Atlanta.
Yeah, you just didn't see the command.
Yeah, and he has Cody Barton and Spicy Mayo. Well, Doug calls Cody Barton. Doug called on the show on the post game. He called Cody Barton Spicy Mayo because he's a spicier version of.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yeah.
Doug a fool, man. He a fool.
Yeah, it's a fool.
All right, man. So let me skip that one. All right, so what for you? What a lot of people wanted this team to keep Sweat. So what do you think Sweat's legacy here in DC is? I mean, it was.
I think his legacy DC is this, man. Talented pass rusher, quiet guy, who will get you sacks in big moments.
At times.
At times, but more so this year than he did in the past, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I think we saw progression of Montez. I think we saw
so too.
progression of Montez Sweat for each year, right?
Yeah.
And a guy who would in the right system who would flourish and be a who would be a Pro Bowler. I would say he's going to be a Pro Bowler if he continues down the path that he's at. I mean, we'll see. We'll see here the next couple of weeks if he goes back to freelancing or he's going to do what he needs to do. But
I think he can freelance. I think they'll let him freelance and he'll be successful at it. I feel like the freelance thing is a negative. They're trying to create that into a narrative for a lot of these folks. I feel like he's going to rush the passer, and he's going to do what it takes to rush the passer. I think Chicago will give him more freedom. Put it that way. Yes. So that's freelancer. They'll give him more freedom because he'll be the guy. He'll be the guy on that line. That's what it is. He'll be the guy on the line, and so he now gets the opportunity to kind of find ways to get to the quarterback. Because in essence, when you say Micah Parsons is a freelancer, the way Dallas uses him.
Yeah, but they scheme things for him, but he is a freelancer.
They scheme it for him though, right? Yeah, they scheme it for him. I think you'll see some similar. I think Montez will be utilized not like Micah because they're different. Mike was on linebacker in college, but he runs a 4.3. He ran a 4.3 coming out to the combine. Talk about Montez Sweat. He a big man running that fast.
Big man running that fast, and he's smart.
There's ways. Yeah, they're going to use ways to utilize that speed to rush the quarterback. So I don't think you'll just see that big man. I don't think you'll just see him lining up. You'll see him being used a bunch of ways. But in terms of his legacy, but in terms of what you said, in terms of legacy in DC, I feel like his untapped potential when it comes to him. Same as we talk about Chase, his untapped potential because they didn't and it's not their fault. I feel like in another system you're going to see what he can really do. Because you would think that this dude has gotten 10 plus sacks his time here. He's never gotten double-digit sacks.
He's never gotten double-digit, and that's
which is wild.
Because he could have though. Look at the ones he's missed. He could have got double-digit sacks.
Like a lot of them dudes could. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just keeping a buck. Like he has never gotten it. So just like we talk about whoever, it's just it is what it is. Like he does it. He's never had it. So I think that he'll have that opportunity in Chicago. I think he'll get those sacks, whatever. So I just feel like, just like Chase is fair, like Chase's legacy is the same way. It's untapped potential. Like I just feel like it's potential. It's like what could have been filled with injuries and then promising rookie year, but injuries and just trying to get back. And everybody's gonna talk about freelance or whatever. But
I heard somebody say that though, his rookie year was a year. And he can't control it, but it was the COVID season. You know what I'm saying? But he done.
Everybody played.
And listen, everybody played. He done some things, but there were only there wasn't many other defensive players that you could have gave it to. Like he came on at the second half of the season. This is not me. This is
that's the hate. That's what I'm saying. That's the hate. That's what I'm saying. That's the fuck.
They're like Chase came on in the second half of the season. Prior to the second half of the season, he only had 1.5 sacks. Then he came on the second half of the season. He had the key fumble with Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff started to.
He had a chance to be. He was talked about as MVP can't. Like that's not a thing. That's what I'm saying. Like that's not a thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what people do. They try to diminish him when they want to tear you down. They try to find a reason to tear you down. I go listen to any talk radio station in 2020 and pull up the clips. Nobody said that about Chase Young. Nobody said any of that stuff. It was this dude has an opportunity. All the commentators. This dude is special. This dude is the leader of the defense. This dude made big plays his rookie year. Like he made his rookie year. He was making people were comparing. This is the truth. At that time, I remember. People were saying he was making Sean Taylor plays like Sean did his rookie year. Like that's what folks were saying.
But what people look at now is that their production is not there due to injury or whatnot, and that's why you get all the hate from Chase Young. That's why no one's really shedding a tear saying keep Chase Young. Like, bye bye.
No, the thing is like that's the thing. People don't use they don't rationalize things. Like for me,
Right.
I don't ever when you call something like to use the term bust, when you call somebody a bust, production calls you a bust. That's what the bust is.
Correct.
Injuries, like if you're injured all the time, that can label you. But once you're on the field and you play a certain way, like for instance, this year he's had about 4.5. He's on pace to get to double-digit sacks.
Yeah, you're on 4.5 sacks.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm like, he's played this season and he has an opportunity to get 10 plus double-digit sacks. He's played this season, so he's not a bust. Like we can't use that verbiage. People are really trying to I'll keep saying this. I like Montez Sweat when I like Chase Farrell.
Oh yeah,
like I do, but I don't like. But what I don't like is I don't like out of the blue hate. Like I know like you're gonna say he ain't like they need to see more from his because of injury. Then I'm with it. Like I get it. But when you say like, all right, he's been a total bust. I'm like, bro, rookie of the year's first year. Nobody does the rookie of the year's first year.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a Pro Bowler. Wasn't a rookie, Pro Bowler. He was a Pro Bowler. Wasn't a rookie year, he was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Like, and he wasn't an alternate Pro Bowler. He was a Pro Bowler.
He got one who got selected.
He got selected. So folks gotta really be easy when they start talking like they want to start using this, that. If like, oh yeah, he didn't go against these rookies and this, that. He was amongst his own position, he was a Pro Bowler.
Yes.
He was a Pro Bowler. So that's one. Secondly, he got hurt. He had a sophomore slump. He wasn't playing good throughout his sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And he had like one sack or something. Then he got hurt.
One sack. Yeah, he got hurt.
All right, that happened. Like their sophomore slumps. We've all seen in multiple sports, whatever.
Yes.
But he gets hurt. So he misses the whole season, right? To the end of the year.
18 months, dog.
18 months. Comes back in that Niners game, right? Just to like get his feet wet. Shows you more than you can see for doing blowing out your whole knee. Like I even said, like I ain't expecting him to look like how. Like I said, he shouldn't even play this year. That's the thing that came in my mind. And then when I saw him go against Trent with a bad leg, I was like, oh, that's not for a dude coming off an ACL, like a blown knee. That ain't bad.
Ain't bad.
So then fast forward to this season when folks are really we're ready to hate after he get the preseason. He got hurt in preseason, and then he finally comes back to Broncos game. And folks is ready. They were ready. They were ready to hate. Had a good game against Broncos. Had a good game against Broncos. And had a couple good outings. I don't like. That's what I'm saying. I don't like.
We talked about it on the post show. I mean, pre-show about that. That if he came out, he needs to go. He needs to be able to ball out. And this is what people don't understand neither. If you're leading up to that week, Ron was like, he's on a pitch count. He's on a pitch count. He's on a pitch count. And
they didn't.
They didn't. They put him. Take him out.
He's playing so well. Because he's playing so well.
That's what
I'm saying. Like so. Yeah, this is my thing. If you don't like him, you don't like him. Just say you don't like him. That's why I'm like for the folks who just say you don't like him. That's cool.
Like him. It's fine.
Yeah. That's fine. Like that is perfectly fine. There's players I don't like. I won't even talk. I will be like, I don't like. If I will say it out there. Like, first off, I don't like this person. That's why I'm talking. I'll say it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just say that. I'd rather you say that than just say like blah blah blah. Like for instance, I don't like Michael Jordan. Like I don't. Right. So when folks hear me talk about, I'll be like, you hating. Like, first off, I'm telling y'all, I don't like Jordan. He ain't my cup of tea. That's fine. You know where I come from. You know where I'm coming from. Like, if you don't like Chase, just say it. Don't act like you're rooting for him, like you root against him. I get it. Like you rooting against him. That's just say you rooting against them and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because I've watched games, dude. I watched games. I used to, like when I was in the press box and I watched Ryan Kerrigan play, and I used to sit there and I used to talk to Lake on the left. I would be like, yo, this dude don't get off blocks.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, he don't get off blocks, but he'll whip up on one tackle and get like 3 sacks. And in the game you need him, he can't go for block. And you sit there and you're like,
it's like as the article says, it's not splash plays. So he likes splash plays. He likes flashy stuff.
Yeah,
stuff that get you on Twitter, Instagram, highlight reel, ESPN.
You talking about the narrative stuff, right?
The narrative stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's possible. He's young. I'm not going to even deny that. Like, he's young. He's 24 years old. Like, but again, my argument for folks who talk about Chase, let's see him in a different environment, and then if it's the same thing, then you know it's on him. But if he does something like he goes to the Niners and he's getting sacks, you know whose fault it was. And I don't even want to hear that he ain't try hard here. I don't want to hear that.
Well, here's the devil advocate on that.
Yeah,
he can get sacked because Nick Bosa's on the other side. I mean,
no.
Bosa's on the other side.
No. They got Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. He's supposed to easily get sacks. I don't want to hear the narrative. I don't want to hear that.
But that's the narrative you're gonna have.
No. Then your narrative is trash. Then I mean, not you, but the people. Like their narrative is trash because they're they're top tier defense. No. It won't because of Bosa because they're getting doubled because everybody knows Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne are getting doubled. So no. And we gas up Montez, don't we? Don't we gas up Montez?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm like no. If Chase Young is if he's getting sacks. Y'all gotta own it. Y'all gotta be like, dang, maybe it was Jack. Some of y'all gotta own it. I'm gonna own it. Look. If he don't play good in San Fran, I'm gonna own it. Y'all ain't gotta worry about me. I'm gonna own it. I'll be like, yeah. I mean, it'd be easy for me. I'm a Michigan fan. I like to trash Ohio State dude in a second. So I'll be like, yeah, that Ohio State Buckeyes some trash. I'll say it in a second. So
we know too, if he don't get a contract extension, if he becomes a free agent, he didn't do what he needed to do.
Yeah, he didn't do what he needed to do. So so you don't gotta worry about me, man. You don't gotta worry, but I just want y'all to own it. That's all. I just want y'all to own it. Like if he comes out
and own it, and he goes out in San Francisco, goes wherever, and he does well
and wins a bowl, I want y'all
and what I'm gonna do is this: I'm gonna go look and see if he changed his technique. I always thought he was a talented player. Don't get me wrong.
Change no technique. I'm telling you,
I always think he was a talent. I always thought he was a talented player. I always thought he could play. My thing is that some of the things that you can see when he takes off, when he is not technically sound in his assignment, and that's the issue.
Don't worry. He won't even have to worry about that because they're not going to have him play like that. He just going. He go get quarterback. That's going to be his style.
Probably go get quarterback. If I was them, what he would do is he'll come in on those downs where he need to go get the quarterback.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Go get quarterback, and he's good against the run too. That's one thing he's always been good against the run. But he go get quarterback. That's what's gonna happen. Go get quarterback. Go hunt. Let's go hunt. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because like the thing about it is like people keep talking about he don't stay in this whatever. He doesn't stay in this discipline. Do you know who didn't do that too? And like watch read option plays when it got hot. Look at Ryan Kerrigan on the read option plays, and then folks come back at me and tell me like, excuse me, was he staying in this fit? Was he staying where he needed to be at? Where is he at? Where was he at where he needed? No, because he's trying to rush the quarterback. But why is he worried about that?
But also the point where I never heard anybody say, and this is something that I thought about with both of them. I know we talk about Chase, but with Montez, they reached a glass ceiling in Washington.
They did.
And they reached their glass ceiling because of coaching. They reached their glass ceiling. So now they got to add different things to their repertoire, different things to their toolbox in order to increase their number. The glass ceiling was then, man. The glass ceiling, let's be honest, this coaching staff, if it had not been for a sale of the team, this coaching staff may not have been there at the end of last season.
True. I will say this, though, in terms of the way they and you were coaching, I think you could see it. The way they set their team up, and this is just my opinion from what I've seen, is that they are, and I think I'm not sure if I said this already, but they're just predicated on setting up their pass rush. They're predicated on their D tackles rushing the passer. That's what they want. They don't care. They want the defensive ends to funnel the defensive ends just to stay in containment so the quarterback won't get out the pocket. So so basically they're highlighting Payne and Allen.
Right.
That's what it is. So I feel like when you go into Chicago, when you go to Chicago and you're going to like Sweat going to Chicago, Chase going to San Francisco, that ain't gonna be a thing. Like they're gonna say go rush quarterback. And then you got linebacker play to fit that anyway. Right. You got Warner. They don't have Washington don't have it ain't about adding more to the toolbox. Yeah, you want to. They don't want to add
pieces
more
together.
But they're gonna be in a better situation where they don't even need to do all that. Like even Montez is playing with the kid from Virginia Tech. Yeah, linebacker in Edmonds and for Virginia Tech in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna have better linebacker play too. There was so much pressure of okay, the D-line had to dominate to a point to make life easy for the linebackers who weren't as elite. So
we know we ain't got elite linebackers.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think in terms of adding to they're gonna be fine. I'm telling you, and it's not even Montez is gonna be fine. Chase is going to be fine. They're going to get double.
We got people sacks. Who don't know, and the Chicago Bears didn't have a pass rusher anyway.
Yeah, they didn't. So now he has free reign to be that one.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy there. And then you had Chase Young as he moved over, I think just benefits from the rest of those guys on the defense.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So let's go to the game in Foxborough. Sunday, the Commanders travel to Foxborough, Massachusetts, to take on the New England Patriots. Do you think this new shaped defense will hinder Mac Jones and the Patriots offense?
Yes, because Mac Jones is terrible.
He is
right?
bad, though. I wouldn't
Yeah,
argue
yeah, he's bad, right?
And their best wide receiver went down. He's out for the year. And
wide receivers out gone for the year, right? Mac Jones is terrible.
I like that one.
And terrible. So at this point, this defense, how do I say this? The defense should do better, right?
Yeah, they trash.
Everything is set up for the defense to do better, right? Then if they don't do better, don't jack their rear for not putting this team in the right situation, because this New England team is really terrible, right? So this is a game, and I want to say there's never any gimmies in the NFL, right? Nothing's ever a gimme, but there are some games that you can say, you know what, I need this one and I need to get it done, and that's what. And then this is the game right here. They need to get back on the winning situation. I think they're going to give the offense of the New England Patriots the business. Now, this is what one thing that you don't want to happen. You don't want my man Mac Jones to have a great day against your defense. That is what you don't want to happen.
It can happen
with no name receivers and a quarterback who's on his last leg.
I will say this though. I feel like now, since they've kind of shaped the team and they've changed the team up, I think it's time to play Manuel Forbes. I think you should play a man. I'm saying real, like I'm being serious.
I think it's time to play him too.
Play Emmanuel Forbes, play Quan Martin, let him start at safety. Let them all play. I mean, you're talking about saying the young players, like play them all, like let them all play. It's and I like Danny Johnson. Like I like Danny Johnson, but I do think you drafted this dude as a top pick, and it's like you've been trying to play Emmanuel Forbes against AJ Brown. Like they don't got nobody. Like this is the best chance. This is the best game to make him feel good about his life. I'm sorry. This is the best game to make him feel good about his life.
It's the best game to give everybody confidence.
You need to put a couple games against certain teams where, like, I wouldn't play him. Like I wouldn't play him against the following week against my man DJ Metcalf, because that's just like the simple. Yeah. They both. I mean, him and AJ Brown are like they're best friends. They played in the same school together, but they built the same way. AJ Brown's a better route runner though. But I wouldn't have. But this game is definitely a game I'd feature Emmanuel Forbes. I let him play. I let him play a lot too. Yeah, like, this is a game that I'm playing a lot.
They have no wide receivers. Like ain't nobody gonna burn them. Ain't nobody gonna beat them. There's no AJ Brown.
You say that now. Right? You say that now. It's always somebody though. They played the Denver Broncos, and like some miscellaneous dude who's fast as hell was burning them left and right. You say that now. Like Washington lets any. Washington's funny, man. You be like, who is this? And why is he getting open?
Right?
Like, why is he open? He's just open. Like even the dudes who be struggling, you be like, bruh, why? Like you've been struggling all year, but you want to eat against us?
You eat against us, right?
Nah, man.
Like, you ain't had, again. That's why I felt where when the Washington offense was on the field, the New York Giants had 5 total sacks all year. All right, they get 5 in the game. Like you eat off us, huh? Eat off your dimes. That's when this team has to get together. But again, do you think coaching will be able to get this team together with everything that's going on this week?
I hope so. I hope they do. I hope they get everything together. I hope that they. I mean, they need to rally. They got to rally. They got to rally together, like they all do. Ron does. Like he got to get the because you traded 2 guys that's supposed to help your team win, and it's not like you just gotta motivate people like Casey Toohill and Smith Williams to say like, I don't need you to be Chase and Montez. I need you to be you.
But I think they're going to beat them. We saw Toohill.
Oh, they will. They will.
A couple weeks ago when he was just him, wasn't trying to rush the passer.
But again, even that, that's true. But again, don't forget, like some of them sacks is because of Montez on the other side. So I'm just saying, like it's easy. Yeah, like usually that's the thing. You traded both. There's usually throughout the game. There's usually like, well, especially not even Chase.
Right.
But they've always been Montez on the other. There's usually Montez and the other one on the other side. So now you're going to go throughout. And those two have played together. Toohill and Smith Williams have played together. I'm not saying they haven't, but they haven't played together for most of the snaps. You know what I'm saying? Now they're
Right.
going to be playing together for most of the snaps, which is different from what you had to do with Montez. So, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting, man. It really is.
It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens with this defense, right? I want that's if you want to put the narrative on the game is what happens to the defense, all right, and how Bill Belichick can confuse Sam Howell.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. That's the storyline right there.
Can this defense survive without the two pass rushers, and can this young quarterback survive?
I think they can. I think they're going to do what they want to do now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually kind of think, like, in terms of what they want to do with the unit and how they want to rush, it's gonna work for them because the defensive ends aren't going to be like trying to do they're not premier pass rushers.
No, not at all.
So you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like you're just gonna fall in line. You're gonna do what the task at hand is. You're not asked to be special. That's the best. I guess that's the best thing I can add. Yeah, you're not asked to be special.
No.
The people that you need to be special is Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen.
You have to do a job. You just have to do a job. Do your job.
And you know, like so because when you have in any sport, when you have special supreme talent, it's hard for them to just do a job. That makes any sense. Like you're not gonna ask
Two Hill to sprint up here and contain.
Yeah, well, I'll use another sport. I'll use another sport.
Okay.
Like Michael Jordan. You're not gonna ask Michael Jordan to just pass the ball.
Right.
Like, even though he could be a good assist man, you're just not going to do that.
You ask him,
and he's not going to listen to that. He's not going to listen to that because
he got this inside of his chest.
Yeah,
this is going to make him not, listen to that.
Yeah, because again, he knows what he's capable of. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't ask. Like, that's the thing. Like, when you get superstar, that's what it is, right? When you get superstar talent or elite talent, that's your name. Say superstar, elite talent.
Yeah, it's still elite, not yet. Because we say superstar, everybody.
Yeah, elite talent. You're not gonna just do the job. Like, that's not a thing. Like, when you're a competitor, when you got elite talent, you're gonna say to yourself, "I'm better than just setting an edge." Like, is that what you just want me to do? If that was the case, you should have drafted. You should have drafted somebody in the 4th round to do all this. Like, you drafted me to get the bag. Because at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? For a defensive end is to get the bag. The way and I've said this before, the way they
coach and score.
Yeah, because again, look at he missed some sacks, but dude, look at Montez's stat. Like, no way Montez should not get. No way. No. Montez should have a 10. He should have a 10 sack. He should have a 10 sack year. Right. And I don't even put that on Montez. That's what I'm saying. I don't even put that on Montez. I'm being real. I don't put that on Montez. I put that on them because I feel like that's what they coach for. All right, so I'm gonna ask you this question, Glenn.
Okay.
Rivera gets dominated on Sunday by the Patriots. Does he lose his job? If he gets dominated, like mollywopped, like washed, like just
before he gets back to DC, he loses his job.
Ooh, so that's what I think.
If he gets mollywopped by the New England Patriots, that means you lost to the Bears, you lost to the Giants, and you lost to the Patriots. 3 who are not good football teams. So if he loses on Sunday and get mollywopped, man, he might want to go and tell his wife stuff. He might want to start packing his bags.
Ain't that the truth? All right, we are on Instagram, on X. We asking folks were they fans of the team trading away Chase Young and Montez Sweat? 80% says yes, they're fans of. I think the deal was a good deal, especially the Montez. I'm sorry, the Montez deal was definitely winning. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I didn't. The Montez thing caught me off guard. Like, I don't even. Yeah, that one caught me off guard. And
it did too. Because we had talked all week and we talked in the pregame. We had talked about, in post game, in pre and post game, that we thought that it would be Chase Young that would go and Montez would stay.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
and that's what we thought. So
I thought Chase would stay and Montez would go because I thought Montez had more value.
But it up to Ron Rivera, neither one would have left.
No, but look, win, Ron. Then it wouldn't have happened. You win. That's what happens when you lose.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That is the problem. But so Sam Howell, do you see Sam Howell having a big day against a Bill Belichick defense?
What was that again?
Do you see Sam Howell having a good game against a Bill Belichick defense?
I do. I think Is it set? And I was asked this question earlier, and I made me really think about it.
Yeah,
I don't want to say Sam Howell. I want to say EB versus Bill Belichick.
it is. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
It's not Sam
That's
Howell.
exactly what
Just
it is.
Sam Howell is just a the pawn on the chessboard.
Yes, agreed.
And so it's going to be EB, whether it's EB getting the ball out quick. Is it EB? Is it Sam Howell getting the ball out and finding the crease middle of the field? Is it going to be Bill Belichick? Is he playing zone, right? Does it look like zone, but he's really playing man, right? Is he sitting in the linebackers here? Do they have seam curl flat, right? Where the chess match on Sunday between Bill Belichick and EB is going to be something to watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think EB has designed plays that make life easy for Sam Howell. And Bill Belichick is a master at this. Regardless of his team struggling, he tends to have his team ball out. I believe they beat the Buffalo Bills this year already. They beat Buffalo this year. They beat a tough team this year. I don't think it was Buffalo. They beat Buffalo this year.
I think so.
They beat Buffalo. So that lets you know they're capable. They're capable. So I feel like it's EB's job. EB can learn from what he not learn, but can build on what he did against the Eagles. You can build on that.
Yeah,
and build
on. Offense didn't perform bad against the Eagles, and that's the thing.
Oh, they were great. No, let's keep the buck. They were great. I know the interception happened, but they were great. Like the grand scheme of things, they were great. They scored 31 points on the Eagles. That's good. Like I know you won the game. Like you should win the game.
Yeah, you should.
Like play defense. How about the Apples? Play defense. How about that? Just play some defense.
That's it.
All Sam's interception hurt.
Oh, it did hurt. It hurt bad.
I mean, but Terry dropping balls.
Score was tied at that time, I believe.
Yeah,
score was tied.
Yep. Terry dropped some balls.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously they were good. I mean, John Dodson was alive again. You know what I'm saying? So no, they were good. Like I'm not.
And like I said, that was my fantasy player of the week. Like
it sure was. Yeah, and good call, buddy. Good call. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like,
offense is not the problem, man.
It's not. I don't want to. Like, this is the thing. Like a lot of people,
the team is not doing well, but it's not because they're not doing well offensively.
It's not. And the thing is, we have to. I'm gonna keep pointing this out. The Giants game is ruining y'all thought process. That's only one freaking game.
Yes.
Like that's one game that ruined. Like truth be told, we're averaging 21, and we scored 7. We scored 7 that game. That's what's messing up the average up even there. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, every game else. Excuse me. This team can score. Like Scott Turner didn't score. You guys are killing me. Like this
team wants us out of red zone.
How you talk about EB is insulting. I'm not going to lie to you. You guys are insulting.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all act like y'all even compare him to. He's a slightly higher Scott Turner. Stop it.
No, stop it.
Scott Turner don't even score in the red zone. EB scoring in the red zone. Stop it.
Scoring in the red zone, and not only that, take teams like the Philadelphia Eagles to the wire.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, they're scoring in the first one. They go for 2. They beat them. But they drove the ball down the field.
It could be. Like we don't know if we're going to get it.
They could have. Yeah, they drove the ball down the field with 1 minute 30 seconds left and opportunity to go to overtime. Yes. This time they would drive it again and he gets set.
Bro, and also, like, you're doing it with a rookie quarterback. That's already, that already let you know there's levels to this. Scott Turner ain't even dealing with EB ain't even dealing with a vet, man. He dealing with a rookie and he's still putting them numbers. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to stop, man. I got to stop.
Yeah.
The reason why you like Sam so much for many of y'all, it's because of EB. So stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
they're creating a happy marriage.
Yeah. So just pump your brakes. For Sam, I hope that EB is the head coach.
Yes.
Because you want continuity. Because I do feel like if EB is going this, like he's going upwards. If his offense continues to improve, he get a head coach job somewhere else. If they don't want to have him here, he'll get one.
He needs to be in Washington.
Because he should not, like, if I'm him, I'm not becoming an OC. Like, I'm not staying as an OC. Like,
no.
I get it. I mean, I get it for him.
There's an opening with the Raiders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Raiders. I know Atlanta could be an opening. Mm-hmm. There's places that can use EB services thoroughly.
Services.
All right, y'all, man. This has been awesome. Good talking. Hopefully we'll see what happens. We'll do our pregame on Sunday, post game.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they get a W in the post game, and hopefully, man.
So
have something positive to talk about.
Positive talk.
It's been real negative. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been negative too. It's been real negative late. So we need some positive. We need something positive.
And one of the big things to get a positive if you're watching is get a W.
True, very true. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Errrything. Also, tweet us at ABG_Errrything and hit us up on IG at ABG_Errrything. I like our All Burgundy and Go Errrything Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Errrything YouTube channel as well. This has been a great show. Appreciate Glenn. Appreciate you all for listening because you are very important to us. Anyway, You've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia for ages. You dig? Deuces. We out.